So I meant to make this video a while back and I totally forgot about it. I was going online today to do some shopping for some axes. Time to do another axe drop. So I was doing some research online with the companies that I use and I said, hey, wait a second. I meant to make this video before. So here we are. We're going to talk about all the websites that I use. And yes, these are websites that I've done business with before and can vouch for and tell you that they're pretty decent companies. So let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Wes, the Suburban Viking. Of course, I am Midgard Axe. So these websites I'm going to give you are websites that I've used in the past, some more than others, but relatively speaking, most of them have done a great job. Now, some of you may have some experience with one or two or most of these websites, and some may not have had great experiences. And that's typical, guys. Not everybody's going to have a pleasant experience. So if you haven't, please go down in the comment section after the video is over and tell me what your experience has been with these companies. There is no order. I'm just going to kind of throw them out there from the top and go down. So one being the first doesn't mean it's the best. It's just where I started out on the list, okay? And also, before we get started into the list, if you guys are interested, wait till the end. I'm going to give you guys some information on my other channel and the craziness that's been going on with that. So with all that out of the way, let's get into the first company. Midway USA is a company I've actually been doing business with for about 5 or 6 years. I found them around 6 years ago, and I did a lot of business with them when it came to pew-pews and boomsticks and stuff like that. I got a lot of my parts and some pew-pews from them. Also, too, they do a lot of axe and axe gear, axe sheaths, axe tools, carving tools, so on and so forth. They offer a wide plethora of stuff on there. They go from Condor all the way to Holzbruch. They have SOG stuff. They've got cold steel. Pretty much any and all axes you can think of, they have them on there, from traditionally hafted, friction fit style axes, and polymer style axes. So they cover a bunch. They have competitive pricing, and their shipping is very, very well too. They do a really good job making sure they get it out fast and get it out to you. And they do give you options at the end when you check out. If you want to speed up that delivery process, of course you'll have to pay more. But Midway USA has been a company I've been using for quite a long time. I've never had any issues with them. And when they say they're going to deliver something, they mean it. I like using Midway USA too, because not only do they offer a wide selection of axes, but they also have axe handles. They carry a lot of Holzbruch handles that fit the Husqvarna carpenter's axe, and they fit a lot of the Holzbruch heads. And those handles, guys, are tanks. I've told you guys that before. I love those handles, and they normally keep a pretty good amount of them in stock. The 20-inch ones, most of the Holzbruch 20-inch handles, even the straight-handled carpenter's axe handles, will fit the Husqvarna carpenter's axe. So if you're in the market for a 20-inch handle for a European style head like the Holzbruch or the Husqvarna, usually Midway USA carries a bunch of different styles too. And if you look at the bottom, they'll have different hooks and different knobs on the bottom of those handles. So pay attention when you order them, because they do come a little different. But they do offer a wide selection of things on their website, from camping, survivalist, stuff like that. So check them out, Midway USA. And guys, I have no affiliation with them. I'm just giving you information and my personal experience with that company. The next company that I've done a lot of business with is Safford Equipment. They are a power equipment retail store in Alabama, and they do a lot of different things on their website and at their retail store. However, I mostly use them for Husqvarna axes, primarily the carpenter's axe. I've ordered probably 10 plus carpenter's axes from them. They've been very, very quick with their shipping, and they've been really quick to answer any questions that I've had, even that they're all the way in Alabama and it's mostly a retail store. They do get back with you fast. The shipping's fast, and I've been pretty impressed with the way that the axes have come to me, the way that they've packaged them, and I've been impressed with the carpenter's axes that I've got from Safford. Most of the time they have very little grain run out, and most of the time they have vertical grain on the knob. There are some that come with a little bit of blemishes here and there, but I can usually fix them. But for the most part, having a sample of over 10 with them, they do normally produce and send out, well, they don't produce them, but they normally seem to get some great axes from Husqvarna, and I've always had great experiences with them, and they've always given me some great carpenter's axes. So check them out, Safford Equipment. They're a really good company, and like I said, guys, I don't know who they are. I've dealt with them on a personal level, and they've always come through for me. And let me just say before I continue on with the rest of the list and say this over and over and over again, I have no affiliation with any of these companies at all. They didn't pay me. I don't personally know any of them, and they don't know who I am. I would assume they probably don't know who I am. So just so you guys know, this is just my personal experience in the shadows. When I email people and ask to buy axes and review axes with my own money, I don't tell them who I am. I just say, hey, here's my credit card information, and I buy it. I don't send them an email or nothing. I just say, buy it with my credit card, send it to me. So just so you guys know, I have no affiliation with any of these companies. The next one on the list, guys, is Schroeder's Log Home Supply. Schroeder's is really good because they carry a ton of Gransforsbruk axes. They carry the large carving axe, the carpenter's axe, and the broad axe. The three axes that I use the most from Gransfors when I do a lot of design work, and most of the axes that I have on my website, I usually get from Schroeder because A, they're really good about pricing. Two, B, if you want to say B, they normally send them out really quick, and C, they normally have them always in stock. And the cool thing about Schroeder too is that if you're into broad axes, especially the Gransfors broad axes, they normally have different bevels on their broad axes available. I normally get the straight design, which means you have the same bevel that on the left that you do on the right, so it's a standard bevel, but they do have left grind and right grind and knife grind broad axes on there, which is really cool. They always normally have the carpenter's axes, which is one of my favorite throwing axes, in stock as well, and they normally have the large carving axe, which I'm going to do a review on in the future. So check out Schroeder's. They do have a lot of Holzbruk axes on there too. They normally just stick with Holzbruk and Gransfors, so if you're interested in those two axes, check out Schroeder's. They normally have a pretty good amount of them in stock. And of course, guys, the next one is Amazon. Amazon is normally one of the places that I normally go with first or second. Now, we'll give you guys some pros and cons about Amazon. Number one, you can normally find everything on Amazon usually cheaper. You just can. They normally have an axe on there that's 20, 30, 40. I've even gotten axes on there, guys, that was like $50 or $60 cheaper that was on Amazon, okay? You always normally get, if you're a Prime member, you can always usually get free shipping too. So in essence, if you go through Amazon, most of the time you can not only get the axe cheaper, but you're saving yourself anywhere between 20 and 30 some dollars for shipping. So you can save yourself in upwards of 80 bucks by using Amazon. So if I can use Amazon, I take advantage of it. However, there are some cons to Amazon. Number one, you got to pay attention to who you are buying it from. These sellers have ratings, and you really need to do a little research first before you buy it from the person that you're buying it from. Some of these sellers have horrible ratings, and they're usually being hit with reviews on counterfeit products. You can get a lot of counterfeit axes on Amazon. Things coming in that are weirdly marked, that don't look like a real Gransfors, and it just looks all kinds of wonky, so you got to pay attention to that. Number three, one of the big things about Amazon too, which I didn't have a lot of issues with, but recently me and my wife have been experiencing a lot of lost packages through them. Things that were supposed to get here that never showed up. That happened with the Ragnar World Axethrowing League axe, guys. I have it, but I had to go through a huge nightmare with Amazon because that thing got lost in the mail. It just got lost. And then I had to go through this whole long process because they thought that I got it. And it was just a nightmare. So be careful with Amazon. They are usually the cheapest, and you can get some good, cheap, or good axes on there for cheap with no shipping, but sometimes it can be a nightmare. I will also give you guys some information on this. Some of your more expensive axes, your Holzbruk, your Gransforsbruk, some of those type of axes that have warranties on them. If you go to those websites from Holtz and Gransfors, it will say on those websites that if you don't buy from an authorized dealer, the warranty will not be covered. So that usually holds up for a lot of Amazon dealers on Amazon selling axes. They're not authorized dealers. So if you get an axe that's jacked up and you call Holzbruk or call Gransfors and say, hey, I got a defective axe, and they say, who'd you buy it from? And you tell them some random person on Amazon, chances are they're not going to warranty that axe. So if you're interested or you really want that warranty, I'd make sure if you're buying an axe from someone on Amazon that they're an authorized dealer, okay? Also, Amazon is known for not packaging things very well or completely just botching up the package. If you guys remember my last axe drop, I bought one of the cold steel Viking hand axes, and I got the handle in the package but no axe head. So I had to do a whole process in that. And it took me like another 3 weeks, maybe almost a month to turn that in and get a new axe back in. So it was kind of a pain that they would ship me an axe, a friction fit style axe with the handle and no head. I don't know how they did that, but they did rectify it and they did make it right, which was pretty decent. But just so you guys know, pay attention on Amazon. There are deals to be had on there. You just got to pay attention who you're buying the axe from. Sheldon Hill Supply is another company that I've dealt with quite a few times, and they are a huge website. I believe they're located out of New York. They've got all kinds of stuff on that website, guys. I mean, small tools, chainsaws, hard hat. I mean, they carry everything on there to include axes and a lot of axe handles. I've used them for a lot of different axe handles, manufacturer axe handles, Holzbruch, Gränsfors, Council Tool, all kinds of different handles they have on their website, and I've used them quite a few times. They are up in New York, so shipping from New York to where I'm at in Virginia normally is pretty quick, and they are quick to process your order, send you an email back and say, hey, we got it, and they normally will keep you updated. There was one time that they said they had something in stock. I ordered it. I got an email pretty quick back and said, hey, we don't have this in stock, but here's the ETA on it. Do you want to wait or do you want your money back? I did appreciate that. They didn't let me just hang out, or they didn't pretend like they had it and then kept my money like a lot of people did during, the when people would say, yeah, it's in stock, and you'd buy it and then it really wasn't. They were just keeping your money, waiting for it to come in. They don't do that, guys. They'll email you right back and say, hey, we don't have it. Do you want to wait or do you want your money back? So I did appreciate that. They do have quick turnaround time on their orders, and a lot of the handles that I got were really nice too. So check them out. They're a really good company, and I've had nothing but great success with them, and they have a ton of stuff on their website. You'll spend at least about 15 minutes or 20 minutes on there looking at all the stuff they have, and they have a ton of handles. So go check them out. Shelter Tools is another company that I like using a lot. They're up in Maine. They're fairly close to Virginia, so I don't have to wait for a long shipping time. They've been really quick in shipping me stuff that I've ordered from them before. They got all kinds of stuff, guys. If you're a woodworker, you're going to want to check out their website. Shelter Tools, you would think the name sticks with what they do, making shelters. So you can get all kinds of woodworking products from them, woodworking tools, all kinds of different stuff, guys. And yes, they carry axes. They have Holzbruch double bit throwing axes. They have a lot of the Gränsforsbruch broad axes. They normally are second in line. If Schroeder's doesn't have my broad axes, I will go to them next. They're about the same in price, shipping, and they usually take about the same amount of time getting to me. So I do like them as well. They offer a lot of different products on their website. It just feels like when you get on their website, it's kind of like that small homey town if you were to show up in their shop. So I do appreciate their customer service, which has been great. I've got a few emails from them when I've ordered stuff that just seemed very pleasant. It felt like they wanted your business, and I do appreciate ordering, and I'll even spend a little more. I'll be honest, I'll spend a little more with a company and give them a few extra bucks if I can get that good customer service that I really enjoy. And I did get a lot from them. Just check their website out. They've got a lot of cool different woodworking tools too. So if you're a woodworker, get on there and browse some of their tools. But they are a really good company, and I do recommend them. And of course, guys, I've talked about this company before, Hoffman Blacksmithing. What a great company. I don't know him personally. He's not very far from me, but he makes some of the best axe handles. I don't care what anybody says out there, even though I've openly criticized his handles when it comes to axe throwing and said that they're 50-50 with axe throwing, but I've used them in my chopping axes and one splitting axe that I have, and those things have been tanks. I don't know what it is about axe throwing. I've had a 50-50 ratio with their axe handles, and I'm still testing them for axe throwing, but man, they are just gorgeous. If you guys noticed, the old axe up here, the axe that I created, the Jormungandr axe that I did a video on, is gone. It's over at my dad's right now. He's doing a little bit of his magic woodworking in the knob. You'll have to wait. It's going to be a whole video. That's gone, but that is a Hoffman Blacksmithing handle, and that thing is gorgeous. I can't wait to show you guys when my dad's done with it. My dad is an incredible woodworker, and he's working his magic on that handle right now. That axe is going to be awesome. But I can't give props more to Hoffman Blacksmithing based on his handles. I've heard nothing but great stuff about his axes. Unfortunately, guys, as long as I've been in axes, I have yet to touch one of his axes. I would love to get my hands on one of his axes. I just haven't had the opportunity yet. So I'm still looking for one. Hopefully I come across one soon. But check them out. They're in North Carolina. And I do know that they were having some issues with that hurricane that came through. So I think they finally got the power back on. I don't know how badly they were hit, but they are a great company. And if you could, go over there, give them some love, and check out some of their handles. He did drop a new website, Hoffman Blacksmithing, and then Hoffman Blacksmithing Handles. So check out both websites where he sells his axes, then he sells his handles. He's got some gorgeous handles, from like real small 12-inch all the way up to 30-some inch felling axe handles, and some curved handles, straight handles. He just does an amazing job. And the smell on those handles, oh my gosh, guys, I love the way those handles smell when they come in. He soaks them in boiled linseed oil, and I think it's turpentine, and it just makes this odd smell that you just can't get enough of. So if you're interested in handles, or interested, I would say good luck on his axes, because everybody's always in line waiting for his axes, but you can get his handles. So if you're interested in axe handles, please go check out his handles. They're not very expensive. You can get some very premium handles from him, and then kind of like run-of-the-mill handles. And I'll tell you guys, I bought both, and some of his run-of-the-mill handles have been great. So I think you can't go wrong with either one. But I tell you what, some of those premium handles that he sells are just absolutely freaking gorgeous. And of course, guys, Whiskey River Trading, I always use them too. They offer a bunch of different stuff, wedges. I get all kinds of different wedges from them. Purple Heart wedges, walnut wedges. I get all my exotic type wedges from them. I love them. They're very fast in their shipping. They get to me quick. And I love the newsletters that they send out each week telling you updated stuff that's what's going on. I believe Brandon is the guy's name that I always see that comes through in the newsletter. They do offer a lot of council tool axes and different other, I think, Brandt and Cochran axes too, which there is one Brandt and Cochran on there that looks really cool. But they got a bunch of different axes on there, and they got like, they got all kinds of different stuff. They have whetstones, they've got shirts, hats, all kinds of different merch. They've even got axe slings, which I really do want to get one of their slings and test it out. I've got a cool idea for one of their slings. But check them out, Whiskey Art and Trading Company. They are really cool. They seem like a bunch of really cool dudes. They do a lot of stuff on YouTube, and I think they don't get enough credit for what they actually do. They seem to be very customer focused based, and I think that we could give them a little bit more love, because I really do enjoy what they do and how much love they show in their passion for axes. So go check them out if you haven't already. Another one that a lot of people don't consider is Etsy. I know Etsy usually is talked about by our wives when they're on there looking at stuff, guys, but Etsy's really cool. It's not just for girls, just to let you guys know. There's a bunch of different stuff on there. Those black ravens that I have hanging up in my backyard, those metal ones that are above my swinging round, I got from Etsy. They were really cheap. I believe the gentleman was in Virginia, Northern Virginia. I didn't pay a lot for them. They got here. Those things have been great. I've also ordered a ton of axe heads off of Etsy as well. Now with Etsy, it's kind of the same thing like Amazon. I'm going to give you pros and cons. Pros, you can support a lot of small businesses on there, local people to you as well. You can filter out overseas. I don't recommend buying stuff overseas on Etsy. I know a lot of people have had great experiences with it. Just personally, I don't feel like dealing with the headache with overseas on Etsy, because it's a personal person and I got to wait for problems, and then I got to go through Etsy. I haven't tried it yet. So I can't really give you my honest opinion on buying something overseas on Etsy, but I do know that I bought a lot of stuff on Etsy from the continental US, and I've had nothing but success. I will tell you guys that you have to pay attention to who you're buying stuff from. There was one issue. I said I've had nothing but success, but I just remembered the Texas Forge. I did a video on it. You guys remember? He was a blacksmith. I think he was in Texas. And that axe came, it was just horrible. So you got to pay attention. And he had great reviews too. I don't know what people are thinking when they buy that axe and get it. That thing was horrible. And I don't like saying that, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've gotten a lot of great used axe heads from Etsy, and I've seen a lot of great masters of skill on there too, with woodworking, axe handles, and people taking old heads, finishing them, and kind of restoring the axe head and hafting them on really cool handles and selling it as a package. So if you're interested in getting something old school, like maybe like a black raven axe head, which I want to get soon, or some old type of plum axe head, stuff like that, try Etsy, guys. They have a ton of different axe heads on Etsy, and people like you and me are on there selling stuff. You don't have to have a store to be on Etsy either. You can just be a regular dude or a regular girl on there selling your products or your skill that you can do on Etsy. It's a really good little website. They have an app as well. I would check it out if you're interested in vintage axes or you're looking for something really unique or cool. Check Etsy out. Also on Etsy, most sellers on there will keep you updated on the shipping. They have like a little progression tab that you can go to and you can figure stuff out. Guys, I ordered this from a gentleman who custom made this for me on Etsy. This sign right here, it's made of wood. He did an incredible job, and I'll have to shout him out on another video because I plan on doing something with this in the future. But you know, Etsy has a lot of different very skilled people on there, so check them out. And I think you can't go wrong with them. And I believe Etsy protects the buyers, so you know you can usually get on there with some confidence that you're going to get what you asked for, and if you don't, you can get your money back. So check Etsy out. It's a pretty good little app to get on, and you can get some stuff that you probably can't get in your local area or even online or in stores. Hardwick and Sons is another company I like using. They remind me of Shelter Tools. They're a small little mom and pop store. They do some really cool stuff. Like I showed you guys, I got a knife from them, and I did get some Gränsfurstbruk carpenter's axe handles from them. They were one of the only companies that I could find that had the Gränsfurstbruk carpenter's axe handles in stock, and I think I got 2 or 3 of them. So check them out. They've got a lot of different things to offer on their website, mostly like woodworking tools, but they do have axes and they do have axe handles on there. So check them out. I've had nothing but great experiences with them. Great customer service, fast shipping, and I really did enjoy the way they packaged their material that was sent to me. The product that was sent to me, you know, they are just wood handles, but they packaged them very well because wood handles can break coming to you in shipping, and I really did appreciate the time that they took to package them the way they did, and it was really cool. If you guys haven't seen, I did a video unpackaging Hardwick and Sons' delivery to me when I ordered a knife and 3 of their axe handles, and I show you guys how it came, what it looked like. And I will tell you guys too, that's not the first time I've ordered from them when it comes to axe handles, and it's either Gränsfurst just puts out really good axe handles, or they normally have some really good axe handles. So if you're in the market, check Hardwick and Sons out. I think you won't be disappointed in them, and I think they'll probably be able to deliver what you need. Beavertooth Handle Company. I've used them a few times, not a lot, but a few, and I will tell you that I do enjoy their handles. They're really nice. That was the handle that I used on the World Axethrowing League what was the axe? Shit, it wasn't the Ace of Spades. It was the King of Diamonds. Yeah, the King of Diamonds. When I rehafted the King of Diamonds, I used a Beavertooth Handle Company handle on that King of Diamonds. I keep wanting to say Ace of Spades. King of Diamonds, and that handle has been a beast. It's been great, and I do love that handle. I've bought probably about 5 or 6 handles from them. I'm still testing them out. They've been really, really decent up to this point. Still testing. I will say that I've put 2 or 3 different orders with them. One time I did have some issues, and he did send me an email and said, hey, I'm having some issues getting axe handles out. It's going to be a little while, which I did appreciate. It did take some time getting to me, but he did give me a heads up and said he was having some issues getting some stuff out. So I did appreciate that. However, they're more of a like home feel with their customer service and their axe handles. When they come to you, you can tell that they're like basically hand done, which I do appreciate. I don't know if they are or not, guys. I'm just telling you what my experience is. It's a little bit different of experience with them because I feel like they're more of a make it as you order it type company. They may not be, but that's just how I feel. And I think they do a really good job of putting out cheaper handles. That's one thing that I do like about Beavertooth, is that their handles are not crazy expensive. They are good but they're not expensive. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to use them. I've heard some people talking about them, and I decided to give it a whirl and test them out. Still testing. So far, so good. And I'll let you guys know the outcome with their handles. But so far, I can recommend them to this point. I've thrown that King of Diamonds a lot. Haven't had any issues with it, and that handle is held up. So if you're in the market for a good, cheaper handle, try Beavertooth Handle Company and see if they have what you need in stock on their website. They're always changing stuff, and they have a variety of different handles too. That's one thing too that I forgot to say a minute ago, is they have a ton of different handles. So check them out. Wisemen Trading and Supply is another company I like to use. They have a ton of different stuff on the website, guys. I've used them 2 or 3 times. They've been very efficient in sending me what I've asked for. It was timely delivered, and they have a plethora of axes. I do enjoy that website because they offer so much. They offer a bunch of different, they actually have throwing axes on there. They have traditionally hafted axes on there, Gränsfors, all kinds of different axes. So if you're in the market for something different, or you're interested in checking out their axes, I would say check them out. They also have a lot of different tools on their website. They just offer a bunch of different options at Wisemen. Everything from leather handle guards to holsters for your axes, double bits, sharpening stones, wet stones, everything you can imagine they normally carry. So if you're in the market or you want a quick website to go over and kind of look at everything they have, check out Wiseman's. They've been pretty good for me, and I think they'd probably work out for you as well. And guys, when I say they carry a lot, they carry a lot. I just went on their website again just to double check, and I can't believe all the stuff they carry. Clothing, camping, books, cooking tools, farm and garden, fire starters, food preservations, food storage, hiking, hunting, knives and saws, laundry supplies, outdoor cooking, reenacting and cabbing style, straps, supplements, toys and fun, water supplies, wintertime, woodworking and carpentry, and a section for yogurt. I'm going to click on that really quick. Yogurt. It says no products were found, but they actually, underneath product categories, it says yogurt. But anyway, check them out, guys. They have a bunch of different stuff on there. I think you would probably get a kick out of some of the stuff they have on there because they've got a bunch of different slings and everything else. So check out Wisemen. They're pretty cool. Highland Woodworking is a really cool website. They specialize in fine woodworking tools. And of course, guys, they've got axes on there. Most of the axes that they carry, though, are Gränsfors axes. This is another website that I'll use if I'm on the third on my list to try to find a broad axe or some type of large carving axe from Gränsfors. They also have some whetstones on there, sharpening blocks, different types of tools that you can use for sharpening, and they have a lot of good woodworking tools on there. Cool fact, if you go to their website and type in axe and scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see where they have the list of old style Gränsfors Viking style axes that Gränsfors at some point in time offered. Now, I know they do it here and there. It's not a lot of times they do it, but they have a lot of different Dane pattern axes, bearded type axes. So those are really cool to look at. Every time I've gone on there, they've never been in stock, but they do have a lot of Gränsfors modern style axes in stock, but I thought that was cool when I scrolled down the bottom. So check them out. They are a really cool company. They have a really good website. I've used them once or twice, haven't had any issues with them. And like I said, they're normally in my line of getting a Gränsfors axe. So check them out. I think you won't be disappointed if you're looking for more of an expensive axe, or if you're wanting to look at some really nice, fine woodworking tools. And last but not least, I've used HCO North America. I've ordered a bunch of different handles from them. They do have a North America because they are a German company, so they have to have a North American store, which is in California. I will say I love some of the handles they have sent me. They have been great. As you guys saw when I did the Rhineland hatchet, I ordered that handle directly from HCO North America. It did get here. It took a while, but it did get here. But it comes from California, so it had to come all the way to the East Coast to me. But I tell you what, they produce some really nice handles. That thing has been a beast on that Rhineland hatchet. You guys have seen me. I did a video on that. If you're interested, you can go check it out, where the handle that came from them, from the German manufacturer, the handle was all kinds of jacked up as it sat. I ordered a new handle from the North America store, rehafted it and threw it on camera and told you guys my experience, which was great. But go check it out. Do some cool throwing with that. It's been a beast. I've been throwing that thing in shorts. It has held up. That thing is a laser beam. I love the Rhineland hatchet. I did have to order a new handle for the, I don't remember what it's called, guys. It's the splitting axe. The one that the bolts go through the back of, that axe isn't that great. I'll be honest with you guys. That axe from Helco, the weird one where like you put the axe head up against the handle and you put bolts through it, not the best. I actually will say that my Fisker's splitting axe is better than that one. It's kind of expensive for what it is, and I had to buy a new handle because, as you guys saw, mine broke. I literally smashed the bit into the log when I was chopping up or splitting that slippery elm back there in the backyard, which is fairly hard wood. And second time, boom, the handle snapped in half, and I showed you guys on camera. Had to order another one. I did reseat that head on that new handle and continued splitting that slippery elm, and I didn't have any issues with the new handle, but I did have to keep tightening those bolts in the back, and I know a lot of people out there had the same issues. But for the most part, Helco makes some pretty decent axes, and their axe handles are really good. So if you're interested, check out Helco. They're on Amazon, and they do offer their warranty on Amazon because they are an Amazon store. And if you need to order some handles and you can't find them on Amazon, go through the North America store. It'll take a little while to get to you, but I think it's worth the wait, so check them out. There are a few companies here and there that I've ordered from. Nothing crazy's happened, like Council Tool. You guys know who Council Tool is. I don't really need to give them any marketing. Council Tool's doing just fine. I love Council Tool's axes. For the most part, most of their axes I do really enjoy. So I really don't need to give them any marketing. I think they do well for themselves, and other websites here and there, guys. But those were primarily ones that I use all the time. There are 3 honorable mentions I'd like to throw out there. Woodcraft Supply. They are a little expensive, I will say that. However, they are local to me. That's where I get my Japanese saws from, which are great for cutting kerfs or making really fine cuts with a saw. The hand saws that I use, those are great. That's where I get a lot of my woodworking tools and a lot of my refinishing stuff from. Dyes, stains, stuff like that. They've always been there for me. They also have an Amazon store, which is crazy to me. I wish someone from Woodcraft would explain this, guys. But if I buy it on Amazon, I can save a bunch more money than driving up to the store and buying it. So I normally just buy it on Amazon and it gets here the next day. So check them out, Woodcraft Supply. They've got a lot of really cool stuff. But I will tell you guys this. I would stay away from the axes that they have on their website. They're German. I can't remember the name of them. I'll put it up on the screen right now. I can't remember the name of them, but I went in the store and looked at them, and I had a conversation with a gentleman in the store there. Those things, the forgings are all jacked and the handles are all jacked. They're not great looking at all. They did have a sale on them for really cheap. They're like $100 and some, $150, $175. And I saw that they were on sale not too long ago for like $90. That's probably why they probably can't sell them. But in my experience, from what I saw in the store, I'd probably stay away from those axes. But a lot of the stuff in the store is great. So check them out. Also, Buckin' Billy Ray. I know a lot of you guys probably know who he is. He's a Canadian dude. He's a forestry guy. He does a lot of woodworking, cutting trees down and such. Guy's extremely talented. He's extremely talented in hafting axes too. Go check him out. He's got some actual stuff going on, I believe, on his website now. If you go check it out, he's got some felling axe handles and some wedge banger handles on there. His handles look really nice. Go show him some love. He's a great dude. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but he's very big Christian guy, and he's very positive. So go check him out if you don't know who he is. His name's Bucking Billy Ray. He's on YouTube, and he's got a website too that sells axe handles. He was doing something with an axe, something called a speed bullet. I don't know if he ever finished that or not, but check him out. He's a really good guy, and he could use the support in buying his handles. Another person I'd like to mention who's on YouTube is Urin Axe. I believe I pronounced that right. His first name is Nis. You can either say it Nis or Nis. I believe it's Nis. Could be wrong, but check him out. He's on YouTube. Urin Axes. He does some really cool stuff, guys. He's Swedish. He makes some incredible axes. He's a blacksmith. Oh my gosh, go check his axes out on his website. He does some medieval, cool looking, just awesome axes. They will blow your mind, and they're not too expensive. I think some of his cheapest axes run around in the high $200s, low $300s, all the way up to $500 and $600. But some of those ones for like $275, $325-ish, I'd buy one. And I've tried to buy him 3 different times, and every time I go on there, he's out of stock. But he's a small family dude on YouTube, and he's actually kind of gotten up there in popularity over the past probably 2 or 3 years. I've been following him. He's a great guy. He gives you some great information on blacksmithing for some of you that want to know about blacksmithing. That's not my field, guys. I'm not interested in that. I don't have the talent that blacksmiths do, and he's got some freaking talent. So if you're interested, he does the cross, the Viking axe that's hollow in the center with the cross. He actually forges that and shows you how to do it. The guy's incredibly talented, and I believe he's younger than I am. If I had to guess, I'd say he's probably in his late 20s or early 30s, somewhere around there. But check him out. He is an awesome dude. He sells some incredible axes, and if you guys didn't know, he also uses the black silica to stain his axe heads black as well, which is what I do. I got a lot of shit for that. People are like, oh, that doesn't work. Yeah, that's why a blacksmith in Sweden's doing it too, and he says it works too. It's not a permanent thing, but it actually will dry, and it'll prevent corrosion, and it stays on your axe head for a little while. So try it out. I actually had someone email me. I can't remember who it was. Sorry. Somebody emailed me the other day in the middle of the night, and they were like, hey, I'm looking for that black silica that you use to dye your axe heads with. I can't find it. And I got on my Amazon list because I ordered a huge bag of it, guys. And I got on my Amazon list, went way back to like 2022 and found it and sent him the link. And it's like, here you go. He's like, oh, thank you. So that does work. And he uses it too. So check him out. He's a really cool dude, and he makes some incredible axes. So that concludes the video, guys. That's the end. That's all the axe companies that I'm currently using, or manufacturers or companies that I'm using to get my axes or axe supplies from. If you guys could put in the comment section if you're using a company that you think I should know about, or if some other people out there should know about it. I'm always interested in finding great companies to use. Not only that too, but I'm okay paying a little more if they have great customer service. So if you could, go into the comment section, let me know what you guys thought of that list. If you'd like to add anything, or maybe you've had a bad experience with one of these companies, please tell everybody your experience if you have one with any of the companies that I listed. But I appreciate all your support, guys. This is going to be the end of the axe companies I use. So if you guys just came here for that, see, I appreciate you watching. Consider subscribing. I'm going to go into now some of my personal stuff that some of the people that really enjoy the channel like hearing about. So I'm going to cut it here, and we're going to go into that. So thanks for watching. All right, let's get into my personal stuff, and I'm going to tell you guys about my second channel. As you guys know, I created another channel called Project Viking. Some people are still having issues finding it. Up at the top, you have to hit the @ symbol, type in Project-Viking. I'll put it up on the screen, and no, this is not a ploy to get people to come over to subscribe. You can come subscribe if you want or don't. That's up to you. That channel was going to be about giving you guys real information, not fear-mongering like most people do on social media, where they're like, oh my gosh, on October 8th, you got to watch this video before the 8th. This is some key information you need to know before the 8th, because on the 8th, this crazy stuff's going to happen. And then guess what? Come the 8th, nothing happens. Then on the 9th, they got another video out telling you about November 2nd. And what's crazy is nobody's on there saying, hey, what about all this stuff you told us was going to happen on the 8th? It's like people just love the fear-monger, and they get to it and they go, oh, well, he's got something new now. That wasn't what this channel was going to be about. It was just going to be about talking about stuff that I know. As you guys know, I told you I used to be a contractor, and I used to be a contractor for the government. And I have a lot of different ties to different things in different organizations. So I get a lot of information, stuff that I can talk about. And then there's some things that I'm just going to not talk about because I don't want my name being put on the list. Okay. And on that channel, the reason why I bring all that up is to say this. On that channel, I've made 2 videos on that channel. But if you go over to my channel, you'll notice there's nothing there. The reason why is because YouTube, for some reason, has taken both those videos down. And I can tell you that the reason why I think they've taken both those videos down is because I'm giving you guys real, truthful information, stuff that I know, things that I have information on that I'm putting out to the general public. And I could be a conspiracy theorist and say that they took it down because of the information. I don't know if they did or didn't, but it's just strange that they took those 2 videos down. One, they gave me a copyright strike on for whatever reason. I was using a news video, which is I can use under Fair Use Act, because I criticized the video after I rolled the video into the footage, and then they struck it and took it down. Second video I put out, it wasn't even up for maybe half a day, and they took it down, inciting something about some type of hate speech or something. I'm not really sure. I had no hate speech in it. I was just telling you guys some information. So at this point in time with Project Viking, I really don't know what to do. I don't want to migrate it over here to Midgard Axe because I don't want to mix the two. There's a lot of people on here that probably don't want to hear about that stuff, and that's okay. That's totally fine. But in order for me to get my message across, maybe I should make a section on Midgard Axe about this and just get rid of Project Viking, because for some reason they are striking the hell out of me on Project Viking. They do not want this information getting out. And it's not crazy information, but it is stuff that I have some insider information about, and there's some key stuff that I put out in those videos, and I think that's what really got underneath some people's skin that made YouTube take it down. Could be speculation, but that's what I'm going with. I don't understand. I've seen crazier videos. I've seen fear-mongering videos. I've seen videos that are downright outlying, and they let those videos stay up. So I don't understand that. And before I get out of here, give me guys your opinion if you think I should maybe migrate that stuff over to Midgard Axe and just make it a separate thing. I don't know what to do with that. There is some information that I think that people should know about, especially going into the rest of this year. But before we get out of here, let me just tell you guys this, and this is just from my own experience and the people that I know and I talk to. All these guys out here that are talking about how they're special this and special that. I'm not talking about special operations guys. I'm talking about these secret assassin CIA guys that are running around. Oh, I'm secret. I did all these missions and secret this and secret that. Let me tell you something. If they were that secret, they wouldn't be on here talking. And that can rile up whoever's feathers it wants, but I know, and a lot of people out there know, that if they were so secret, they wouldn't be on here giving all this information to you. And they would pick and choose what they say and don't say. So I will tell you guys this, if there are legit guys out there, secret guys on there on YouTube talking about how secret they are and how great they are about what they do, they're picking and choosing what they tell you. That's just the name of the game. It is. That's the name of the game. And I will tell you guys that you got to pay attention to who you listen to, and you got to pay attention to what they're telling you. Because just like during the whole January 6th thing, they had people implanted all out there that were pretending to be part of the protest that were not part of the protest, which we already know that now. But what I'm saying is that it doesn't just stop there. You don't think that they got them on social media pretending to be something? You don't think that they got them on social media trying to gather up who is talking the way that they're talking and trying to get inside information on this and that? Let me give you guys a little information and then I'm going to go. I'm not going to say too much. There's a couple people out there right now that are part of the system that have got y'all fooled. Pay attention, guys. This world that we live in right now is smoke and mirrors. And we're all being played. And I'll just be honest. I've got nothing to lose. And I know how the game's played. So pay attention to who you're listening to. Pay attention and look and see what agenda they have. Are they doing nothing but fear-mongering? Are they picking certain topics to get you all up in arms about, to get you flustered about? Why? Is it for the views? Yeah, it could be. But is there something deeper in it? Because I can tell you right now, they got plants. They got plants in everywhere. Just because they're on YouTube doesn't mean anything. That could mean all kinds of different things. It could be fear-mongering or they could be doing something else. So pay attention. Like I always tell you guys, keep your head on a swivel. Don't trust everything you hear or see. Just don't. Because you, the average person, like we all are, the average people, we don't know everything. And we're easily manipulated by these people on here telling us what they tell us, and we believe it and we take it in and say, yep, that's what it is. But you can't just listen to what one or two people tell you in an environment that you don't know much about. It'd be like me getting on here and telling you all kinds of crazy shit about axes to people that don't know anything about axes, and I tell you a bunch of crazy shit and you're like, oh yeah, that sounds good. But how do you know it's good? Because I tell you? Start thinking, guys. Pay attention to what you see on the media. Start listening to all that. There's something going on right now. Something going on right now that they're trying to keep you from seeing, keeping you getting up in arms about. They want to keep you preoccupied about this or that or whatever the case may be because they've got something here and there going on. I'm not saying something's going to happen per se. What I'm saying is that they're working stuff right now behind the scenes and they don't want you privy to it. They don't want me privy to it. You got to pay attention to that stuff. Be ready, stay prepared, guys. Like always, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I do know when it quacks like a duck and it sounds like a duck and it walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Don't get too complicated going down rabbit holes. Sometimes you have to see things for what they are. But I appreciate your time, guys. Let me know what you think. Till next time. See you.